Very good day to Dr. Haida, and my name is Tan Jiayong, and I'm from Microeconomics for Group G, and we are Group 4. Today we are going to present the demand theory of the Samsung company. As we start from my introduction of the Samsung company. Samsung company, as we know, that is the biggest and the strongest company in South Korea. It is also one of the largest producer of the electronic device in the world. It's built up by a Korean man named BEEB2013. Okay, so Samsung company specialized in the production of the industry electronics, including the media device, memory chips, integrated system. For example, there are electronics that we use, for example, televisions, refrigerators, fans, and most the electronic things. So that we know that as one of the biggest market for the Samsung company was the smartphone market. So in today we done this project. Also we touch in about the Samsung company for the smartphone from Samsung. Okay. In 2009, the electronic market of the value of Samsung company reached $110.2 billion. It's already over the Intel company and become the world's biggest semiconductor company. In the same time, it also became the biggest company in the world in the electronic sectors. In that time, Samsung company had more than 20,000 of employees in 58 countries, and the market value of the business reached $3.6 trillion in year 2010. In same years, Samsung company launched out the first Galaxy series smartphone with a touchscreen function, named Galaxy i7500 in the February of the year 2010, and the company, after having a good sales, the company set up a special team on the process of the smartphone with the Android system. In this producer, we can see that how much the Samsung focus and how much Samsung need to pay more and in the process of the Samsung smartphone series. Okay, next. Nowadays, Samsung's company continue improve their function of phones to support the demand in the world market. As we know that the demand of the function of the smartphone is increased day by day. So maybe today we have this function, then Samsung will create a new function to catch up the demand of the market. So that this is really neat. We can able us to have a project to elaborate the demand of the Samsung company. Okay, in the research of the project, we have two objectives to touch. First, we need to analyzing the trend of the demand for Samsung smartphone from 2016 to BEEB20. And the second objective is we need to analyze the factors that affect of the quantity demand of the Samsung smartphone.
Hello, my name is Pavitra Subramanian and my metric number is 277018. Now I will discuss about the demand analysis of Samsung company's smartphones. Let me explain the theory of the demand. Demand is the consumer's desire and willingness to purchase goods and services at a specific time and price. Based on the economic theory, demand consists of two factors: taste, the desire, and the ability to pay for the goods and services at a specified price. The law of demand states that there is a positive connection between the quantity demanded and the price of the goods and services. When all the factors other than price remain same, and if the price increases, the quantity demanded for a good will decrease. But if the price of the good decreases, the quantity demanded for the good will increase. Next, I will discuss about the analysis of the Samsung company's smartphone demand trend from 2016 to 2019. The table shows the worldwide sales of Samsung smartphones from the year 2016 to 2020. The highest number of sales were recorded in the year 2017 with 321 million units of smartphones, and the lowest sales were recorded in the year 2020 with 253 million units of smartphones. The overall trend of the demand shows a fluctuation. The chart shows the line graph of the worldwide sales of Samsung smartphones. The number of sales represents the quantity demanded for the Samsung smartphones. From the year 2016 to 2017, the quantity demanded for the smartphones were increased about 4.9%. However, in the year 2017 to 2018, the quantity demanded for the smartphones were decreased about 8.1%. In 2019, the quantity demanded for the smartphones were 0.34% higher than the smartphones demanded in the year 2018, and the quantity was decreased about 14.5% from the year 2019 to 2020. As an overall, the demand for the Samsung smartphones from the year 2016 to 2020 shows a irregular pattern of rising and falling. This situation is due to the changes of some factors. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to Dr. Rohaida. My name is Nur Syahira binti Omar with metric number 277329. I'm going to proceed the presentation with the factors that affect the quality demand of the Samsung smartphone. The first factor is price, which is price of other goods and price of the product. For price of the other goods, there are two types, which is substitute goods and complementary goods. First is price of the product. Samsung brand smartphones are more likely to experience high price drop, thus causing the demand for the brand to often increase. The reason these smartphones are easy to experience falling in price is due to the fact that every year, Samsung Electronics Company will release more sophisticated types of smartphones. The table shows the comparison between launching price and current price of the Samsung smartphone. The smartphone model are Samsung Galaxy S7, Samsung Galaxy S8, Samsung Galaxy S9, Samsung Galaxy S10, and Samsung Galaxy S20. Based on the graph, the price for all these smartphone models experienced a very high in price drop. Samsung Galaxy S9 is the model that experienced the high price drop, which is 2,510 ringgit compared to other models. The fall in the price of this smartphone causes the quantity demanded for the goods to increase. Next is price of other goods, which is substitute goods. Substitute goods are goods that can replace the function of other goods. For example, a substitute good for a Samsung branded smartphone is the iPhone brand. These two mobile devices play the same role and function, yet still have differences in terms of price. Based on the graph shown, when the price of iPhone goes up from P0 to P1, the quantity demanded of iPhone will decrease from Q1 to Q0. Consumers have reduced the purchase against the iPhone and they replace it with Samsung because Samsung price are relatively cheaper. This will cause the demand for Samsung to increase from Q0 to Q1, and the demand curve will shift to the right from D0 to D1 D1. It is clear that the rise in the price of iPhone is causing the demand for Samsung to increase. The last one is complementary goods. A complementary good is an item that must be used in conjunction with other items. For example, the complementary good for Samsung smartphone is a SIM card. The increase in the price of Samsung smartphones will reduce the quantity demanded of the phone. Reducing the quantity requested for smartphones will directly reduce demand for SIM cards. For further explanation, based on the graph shown, the increase in the price of Samsung smartphone from P0 to P1 will reduce the quantity demanded from Q0 to Q1. The reduction in the quantity will affect the demand for its complement item, which is SIM card. Thus, the demand for SIM card will decrease from Q0 to Q1, and the demand curve will shift to the left from D0 to D1 D1. That's all from me. Thank you.
Everyone, my name is Patrick and I'm going to continue the presentation with factors other than price that affect the quantity demand of the Samsung smartphones. First and foremost, income of the people. Income is money or things which have same value that received by individual or business. Individuals earn income through salary, while business earn income by selling product or service to customer. The demand of a product is affected by the incomes of the people. The higher the income of the people, the higher of their demand for the product. Therefore, when the incomes of the people increase, the purchasing power of them also will increase. This will cause the quantity demand of Samsung smartphone will increase too. Then, we are showing the data about unit shipment of Samsung smartphones from 2016 to 2020 in the form of table and chart. Unit shipment of Samsung smartphones are represent to quantity demand of Samsung smartphones. Based on the data, we can find it the quantity demand of Samsung smartphones from 2019 to 2020 is decreases from 295 million units to 266.8 million units, which is decreases 28.2 million units or 9.6%. This highest decreases quantity demand of Samsung smartphones from 2016 to 2020 was due to the pandemic of COVID-19 in worldwide when 2020. The outbreak of COVID-19 in the worldwide forced a lot of countries announce lockdown in their own country for a certain period, and it has brought a terrible effect to economy of country. The growth of global gross domestic product (GDP) in 2019 was 2.76%, while in 2020 was negative 3.27%, which means the income of the people in 2020 have decreased. So, when the income of the people decreases, the quantity demand of Samsung smartphones decreases. The next factor is advertisement expenditure. Advertising is a method of communicating with consumers of a product or service consumers. The expenditure that's spent on advertising by a company to encourage the selling of its product is an important factor in deciding the demand for a product. The advertisements of a product will repeat many times to convince the customers about the superior quality of the product so that can attract customers to buy it. The higher the advertisement expenditure of Samsung smartphones, the higher the quantity demand of Samsung smartphones. Next, we are showing the data about unit shipment of Samsung smartphones from 2016 to 2020 and Samsung Electronics advertising expenditure worldwide from 2016 to 2019. Based on the data, when the Samsung Electronics advertising expenditures increases from $9.9 billion to $10.5 billion, the quantity demand of Samsung smartphones increased from 309.6 million uniques to 317.7 million uniques. Then, when the Samsung Electronics advertising expenditures decreases from $10.5 billion to $10.1 billion, the quantity demand of Samsung smartphones decreases from 317.7 million uniques to 292.2 million units. So, when the Samsung Electronics advertising expenditures increases, the quantity of demand of Samsung smartphones also will increases. On the contrary, when the Samsung Electronics advertising expenditures decreases, the quantity demand of Samsung smartphones will decreases.
In conclusion, as we talk about, the demand of the technicals or function upgrade for the smartphone is increased day by day. So Samsung company need to always try their best to improve their functions, to upgrade their functions, their smartphones, to overcome the demand of the smartphone in the market. We also know that Samsung is already try their best on support the demand in a lot of sectors, not just smartphone. Of course, it's the electronic sectors, the insurance companies, and lots of that. Okay, for the demand of the smartphone in market is very important to Samsung company. Why I will say that? Because company need to refer to the demand in the market to have their new products. This will try to maximum their revenue and minimum their loss. So if the company need to need to increase the profit, so company need to clearly know about the demand of the market. So being know that company will know demand in market, they were able to produce the best, the suitables, and the function that need by the market, need to buy the users. So being that company will have a best revenue and good profit.